Today's vlog, what we're going to talk about is choosing a Dubai nanny slash housekeeper. Cleaning and chores, that's an area she does. She focuses a bit more on I'm thinking of a nice tasty right now. You don't need to treat me like a king, no, but there needs to be, the appropriate level of respect of us basically being your employer, really. So we do have cameras, but then at the same time, you do need to trust the person. What's up, guys? It's the Monago family, Monago family, Monago family, I'm Uche, Monago family dad.
I'm Charmaine, Monago family mum.
Monago family beautiful mum.
Monago family chocolate sundae dad. If you watched our last vlog, you know what we're doing here.
Mummy used to call me Chocolate Sunday on the vlogs. It was a name that she came up with.
I had to think about it.
Hope you guys are all good. Thank you for joining us again today. If you're joining us again, if you're joining us for the first time, welcome. Okay, if you're new to the channel, don't forget to subscribe so you join the family. Why wouldn't you want to join a family like this? Exactly. Wonderful family join. Hit the notification bell so you know when we post, so you know when our vlogs come out. And guys, give this vlog a big like. MF Squad, we love you guys, we appreciate you. The likes keep our channel alive, make us feel appreciated, and so forth. And comment down below, let us know you're watching, say hi, interact with us, because at the moment we're just talking to a camera. So when you write back to us, we know that you're watching. And it's wonderful, and the love goes around in a circle.
Round circle, yeah.
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 Are you mocking me?
No.
She's mocking me, isn't she?
No.
So guys, why am I hugging you now? I just felt like giving you a hug.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's nice.
We didn't plan to do this though. We got like the Adidas on today.
No, he actually copied me today. I put it on first, and he's like, oh yeah, I think I'm going to wear mine too, actually, yes.
Yeah, so why not? I wanted to do matchy with my wife. Today's vlog, what we're going to talk about is choosing a Dubai nanny slash housekeeper.
It's one of our most requested, actually.
Most requested.
Yeah.
The kinds of things we're going to cover on this vlog are what they actually do, because people have different requirements for their housekeeper or nanny, or both. That's the first thing, and what they can do, and so forth. One of the other things we'll cover in this vlog is how do you find one?
Main question.
Yeah. And 3, what competencies do we look for in them? What attitude characteristics from our experience, and what the process has been like for us. So stay tuned, go get some popcorn, get some wine if you're an adult. I mean, this is probably an adult vlog, to be fair.
It is.
And kids, we love you guys. Sorry, we need to do something for you soon. Done a few vlogs which are more centered around the adults. We still love you. We're going to give you some family stuff, some more younger stuff soon. Okay, but this one's for the adults that asked us. So basically, look, you can have a housekeeper, or you can have a housekeeper slash nanny, or you can just have a nanny, right? For us, in our home, we have 4 kids, as you all know, or you may not know. The kids' ages are twins who are 4 years old, and 8 and 10. So our requirements was a combination of nanny slash housekeeper. Kyra and Kyla are still 4, so they do need a bit more attention than, say, Myra and Safira do. Myra and Safira are fairly independent. And Kyra and Kyla, we try to raise them to be independent. So they are quite independent 4-year-olds, to be fair. Well, they're not independent 4-year-olds. There's no independent 4-year-olds, are there? You just said yes to me.
What do you mean independent? They're quite independent.
They cook their meals themselves.
No, they're independent from a perspective of, you've got different, you can
levels. We encourage them to do things for themselves.
Yeah.
And try and push our kids.
We try not to spoil them in this little bubble that we live in, which is great, but obviously sometimes when you can have help in the house, your kids can tend to naturally not want to do the things that we feel they should do still, because one day when they do leave us, they may not have a nanny or a support they need, so they need to be able to do the basic things like take your plate to the thing, make your bed or whatever it is, but we make them do stuff.
So that touches on another point. That wasn't the point I was making though.
But well, it's a point I'm making. Okay. So
all right, so we're just gonna make the vlog just go like this then. It's just gonna.
The thing is, with what you said there, that could come across that way anyway. So that's what I took from it. So half of the viewers watching this may have actually,
Are we going to argue
it in the way that I did, and then half of the viewers will understand it how the way you did it.
Okay, well.
So we're not arguing actually.
Okay, so just to add to this point that she made. Basically, even before we came here, we tried to encourage our children to be independent, and we want to follow that through. Yeah. Right, darling? So what do they do? So for us, really, again, the function, the purpose of our nanny for us and our housekeeper slash nanny was basically to make our home more productive. It was basically to help us have more time to balance the roles that we need to do and make ourselves have make our home more productive. Exactly. It wasn't to raise our children like royalty.
No.
No disrespect to you if that's what your plans are, but for our children, we want them to be independent. That's just our way of raising our kids. It's what we choose. It's more to be productive.
Choice, yeah.
We have 4 kids. The ratio of 2 adults to 4 kids is just difficult, especially when you have to work, run a business, do social media, and so forth. So obviously now we've got a ratio of 3 to 4, and of course, mummy and daddy have to run a business, do social media, and do all the other things we need to do. So the balance is a lot better, and sanity is there. And let's do a brief for sanity. More sanity. Right? Okay, cool. So, what can they do? Essentially, what ours does, she generally takes care of the majority of the house, cleaning and chores, essentially. That's an area she does. She focuses a bit more on Kyra and Kyla in terms of looking after them from time to time. When they're in a normal school routine, of course they go to school or nursery. So this may just be like for half an hour a day when they come back, or a couple of hours. And she's just an extra lookout for our kids as well in the house. If I've got to take a business call or mummy's got to take a business call. And then in terms of the cooking, in this house we are very much foodies.
Yes.
So it is difficult for anybody to satisfy our desires for food because we like different flavors and we cook and we taste and so forth. So we generally, in our home, we share the cooking. Sometimes mummy will cook. Sometimes I will cook. I tend to like barbecuing things as well on the grill, but that's another story for another day. I'm thinking of a nice tasty barbecue right now. Anyway, so I cook sometimes and then she'll cook sometimes. We've kind of showed her the meals, a few basic meals that we like cooked in the way that we cook them, and she generally will do that.
And I think with the cooking, just to add to that, cooking is very, not every nanny / helper can actually cook as well. Some of them can't. We, like you mentioned earlier, we've worked really hard to get the one that we do have now. And thankfully she can cook. So when you show her things, or, most of them you can give them like a YouTube video or recipe and they can go ahead and make that meal. Like Misha said, some of the meals that we make that are quite African, it's very difficult to give someone else that to kind of copy, but the general meals, like a spaghetti bolognese or whatever,
like a basic standard
they can she can do that, so that's been really good for us.
So the more complex ones is more challenging, but
exactly.
And the most important thing, she has an attitude where she wants to learn our culture and our way of cooking and so forth, and that's what's really, really good. Okay, cool. So next point we want to talk about is how you find them. We've tried loads of different things. We've tried agencies. We've tried putting our own adverts out because we have a recruitment agency, and then we also tried recommendations and Facebook groups and things like that. There's loads of these Facebook groups for nannies. Now for us, best method has been
finding them on our own. I'm joking. No, so putting the advert out, right? Putting the advert out has been the best one for us, but the one that we have now is just through a referral. But
I thought you were going to say referrals are the best. For me, referrals.
No, referrals are the best, but it's not. The thing is, the reason why I don't want to I'm going to recommend it. It's hard to get a referral. This is the thing. It's not something you're going to come in and just get like that.
But darling, but honey pie, but sweetie, they can get a referral from like a Facebook group.
Yeah, of course.
When you do an advert, you go into like the general area, and it's more tougher. Not everybody is going to be able to do that or have the confidence to do that. But if you go on like the groups and then you get a referral from a family within a group, that's really good. So that's been the best thing. And get references. A lot of nannies that you speak to, they seem great. When it comes to the reference part, then the stories start coming up. Generally, if it smells a bit weird, it generally is a bit weird, right? So what you want to do is you want to get some good recommendations and good referrals from a previous family that has used a nanny or two even. But they need to have a good trail of conduct, in my opinion, for you to take them on.
So when we first, I'm going to try and make this really quick. When we first came, we used an agency. It didn't work for us personally. It works for some people. There was a few things we didn't like about the way the agency worked. This is just personal preference. And not only that, I didn't like the fact that we didn't like the fact that we couldn't pay the nanny what we felt they were worth, as opposed to an agency paying them and giving them what they think. So these are the things. There was a few things we didn't like about that system, but it works for a lot of people. So the agency we then stopped, and then we did an advert. we're recruiters naturally, so this is our job. So we're able to recruit and interview people and do that. This is quite a stressful process for, for some people who may not want to do that. So if you don't want to do that,
then the agency will
help.
And you can buy the nanny from the agency.
Exactly.
You can pay a fee basically to, I don't want to say buy the nanny from an agency, you're not buying a human being, sorry, just to be clear. You can pay the agency a fee and then you can get the nanny directly.
Yeah.
But I guess just with us being recruiters, we just felt we could.
And the agency does sort out their visas as well, which is a positive for a lot of people, because when you do recruit, when you do take a nanny on yourself, you have to pay for the visa. So there's the pros and cons there. So it just depends. You have to find out what works.
But you've got to pay a fee to the nanny agency to pay for the visa. So it's not like they do it within a fee.
No, they don't. They just do. They sort that process out
for you if you want to.
Yeah, if you don't want to go through that process. So,
if you want to.
Yeah.
And look, questions and things you want to check. When you're checking the nanny out, find out what they did in the other families.
Yeah.
Go through the detail of what their day-to-day routine was. Yeah. Because just because someone has we're a 4-kid family, they could have worked in a 4-kid family, but the roles and responsibilities within the 4-kid family could be different to yours.
Yeah.
So you need to really go through with them what they did during that period. And if you can speak to the previous family as well, ask questions. Did they cook? Did they this? Whatever your requirements are, find out. If you've got small babies, then find out, did they look after a small baby? If you've got a dog, find out, are they okay with dogs? If you're going to be swimming with the nanny, find out if they can swim. So these are things. Find out exactly what they did in the role.
Just find out their capacity. Find out. You have to. Their natural setting generally is, I can cook, I can clean, I can, which is fine. This is just their natural setting, and this is what they would say to you. But you really have to break them down and make sure they're right for your family, and actually speak to them. Find out exactly what they can do, because we've had to go through a few, to get to the point that we are at now. It wasn't an easy process to start with. So you really have to break that down with them and speak to them and find out, okay, look, you say you can look after 4 kids. What would you do if my daughter did this or my son did this? What would you do then? And give them scenarios.
Scenario-based questions.
Yeah. And then as for the referral thing that Uche was saying, it is the best way. And I think we didn't get lucky, because I think we've gone through the process.
No, we didn't get lucky.
We didn't. I think it was just a time.
And you touched on such an amazing point, darling, because you're such an amazing lady. Don't be scared to go through your trials of your nannies, right? Yeah. I think when we first started, we were so worried because we're bringing someone into our home, and we were just like, oh my gosh, if we've got to change it to another person. Yeah. But then we realized the kids didn't care. They actually didn't care. At the end of the day, we provide a level of warmth and comfort for them as their parents. Yeah. No one's going to come and replace that role. No. We've made them healthy kids. From a perspective of emotions and hopefully physically healthy as well. No, we have. Look, we provided a nice home for them. We give them love. So their anchor is us. You are their anchor as their parents. Don't worry about it. You need to, we believe, you have to trial a number of people before you get it right anyway. Yeah,
it's a big deal, It's not, in a normal job, this is what someone would do anyway. They would trial people, they would do that. But I think this is actually more than a normal job. This is someone coming into your home. It's a big deal. Someone's coming into your home, they're, it's like you're making a friendship.
They're part of your family.
Yeah.
Right, we treat our nanny, yes, we keep some boundaries and, we are their employer, essentially. But, when they're in your home, it's a much more personal connection. We treat her like a family member. Yeah. She has her own, ensuite area that she lives in our home. Yeah. She has her own bathroom, her own her own bedroom with an ensuite. It's nice. And so they are a family member, right? So you're bringing them into your home. There's a high level of trust involved in both ways. Exactly. They're coming into your home, and this is the place that they're going to live for the next however many years.
They need to get comfortable.
And they need to get comfortable too. Yeah. So there's basics. Everyone needs to feel safe, protected, and so forth. There's a mosquito, so I mean jumped up because there's a mosquito.
You come in the middle of the vlog. Stop the vlog.
We're gonna have to stop the vlog so I can kill a mosquito, guys. Yes. Okay, so I think we've spoken about family member enough now. So let's jump back.
Yeah. So I think the last thing I was just gonna say is, so with the referral, the way we got it is when I posted something on the Facebook, then I had this nice lady contact me. She was like, look, I've just left Dubai and I've got a really good nanny and blah blah blah, etc. And then now she's here, and that referral was everything to us because, you know, more than anything, when someone refers a nanny to you and they've left the country and they're referring it, you know that person's good because they're working hard to get them a job.
And there's no motivation.
For
They're
her
not
to do
gaining
it.
anything.
Yeah.
But this lady really went out of her way to refer this lady.
It's-
So the next thing is what kind of attitude? For us,
Yeah.
Attitude is massive for us.
So massive.
It's massive for us as, you know, employers ourselves and, you know, business owners and people that employ people. It's massive for us, particularly in your home. I think the attitude is really, really key. You can kind of tell what it's going to be like, what a person's going to be like based on, you know, their general attitude. For us, I think the person, we work really hard in the home and just generally. So for us, we want someone who's proactive, who's pleasant, who's quite respectful of us. It's really, really important. I think the respect part is really, really important. You don't need to treat me like a king, no, but there needs to be, you know, the appropriate level of respect of us basically being your employer, really, regardless of whatever. And I think that's really, really important because, you know, you do have to manage this person.
Yeah.
You are managing them. You know, you need to have the appropriate relationship in place for that, whilst also treating them like a family member.
Yeah.
And trustworthy, someone who's really trustworthy. Regardless, look, you know, one thing we'll let you know is we do have cameras in our home purely because we just want to know what's happening. We've got young kids.
Yeah.
Regardless, we want to know what's going on in our home. Sometimes I use the camera to talk to them from upstairs, the kids, when I'm downstairs. It's pretty cool. I tell Myra, stop doing that. You know, so we do have cameras, but then at the same time, you know, you do need to trust the person.
I know,
So
and thankfully we work from home, so we're home a lot anyway. But there are people who are going to be, you know, potentially leaving their children with the nanny for a long time, etc. So I do think the cameras, you know, I think they're just helpful for everybody. They're even helpful for the nanny themselves because if the nanny's in potentially ever in a compromising position, there is the camera there. You can refer back to the camera. So I just think the camera is a good thing for everybody. It's not just, you know, oh, we're doing it to watch the nanny. It's just for the whole house to function well, I think. And let's just be realistic here. You know, people keep asking this question. You've got initially a stranger in your house. So you're having to now blend this stranger into your family. So this is going to take a long time to build trust because trust is with a pinch of salt because you have to build that, isn't it? And it takes a long time to build that trust with someone, but we're quite good. I mean, Uche's probably better than I am. You know, I am a good recruiter, but Uche, from sniffing someone out, he sniffs them out in the first 24 hours. Literally, he'll be like, listen, I know that this person is saying she can do all these things, but actually she can't because she's given me all the lingo, but she can't actually do this job. So you have to be able to pick out the things really, really quickly that you want and they're not doing. And
stay true to the reasons why you brought them here
in the first place.
Yeah. Because it's easy, you know, you make a connection with someone, you may want to help someone, but then, you know, there's a difference. You brought them here so your home could function in a certain way.
Yeah.
And unless you achieve what you want to achieve, you're not going to be able to help anybody because you're going to be at a disadvantage yourself.
Yeah.
So stay true to the reason why you brought them here.
Yeah.
Look, you know, we're sitting here comfortably, you know, we're smiling on the chair.
It wasn't like that to start with.
It was terrible.
It was
terrible. There was times when we sat down together and we were just like,
what is this?
What is this? Forget it. I don't want
it anymore.
You know,
I'm not doing it anymore.
You know, but we knew we needed this, and this is what we came here for, and we knew we needed it to be more productive, to create a more stable home, and it is literally a life changer, lifesaver.
It's everything. Yeah, for us.
It's one of the biggest things for us, really. Just stick at it.
It's quite tough.
You know, it's the ones, some will really disappoint you, and you'll just be like, wow, I really didn't expect that from that. And then one will really kind of turn around and show you some magic that you thought, wow, okay, I didn't expect that from that. So just go through the journey, go through it.
There's one more thing I had in my head and I can't remember it. No, someone asked, this is a question someone asked quickly, and I think it is quite important, is how we feel about having a nanny in our house and how it has got on with the kids and how it's blended with the children. Again, this is tough still. When you first have a stranger in your house, you know, and we've got some older children, as some of you know already, you know, they get a bit defensive, you know, naturally, oh, this person's in my house. We had to explain to them, look, you know, we need this help in order for us to be better parents, to be more productive in the house, to have more time with them.
But in saying all of that, when the right person walks through your home and they connect with your kids, you know straight away.
That's another thing. You know straight away.
So we look to see, it's a balance for us about, okay, will this person be able to correct them at times, uphold the values that we have and the principles and the discipline, but then also connect with them.
Yeah.
You know, there's some people, for us, it's really important. I do feel you can tell when somebody genuinely has a love for children and a love for people.
Yeah.
You know, some people just, you know, and there's nothing wrong with it. It's not like everyone has to love children or love people.
I just think if you do this job, you do though.
Yeah, that's what I said. Yeah, exactly.
For this job, you have
to. And personally, I think you can tell when that person has made it, and when there's a genuine connection, and that person is trying to build a genuine connection with your children.
Yeah.
You can tell. So I think look out for that too.
And the last thing you need to look out for is, just to add to that, we've had people come, I'll be completely honest, that have trialled, and literally Kyra and Kyla, for example, will be sitting there and they'll just be standing there watching them. These are the things you need to look out for, because that's the initial connection you're looking for people who actually want to connect with those children, because that's not what you're looking for. For us, the attitude is really important. You need to be happy, you need to be smiley. Everyone's got problems going on. When they're coming to do the job, you have to make sure they're doing the job. And if they're not connecting with your children, they're just standing there genuinely just standing there because they want you to pay them, which is what they're here for. I get it, but also you need to do a job for us too, right? So it's a two-way thing.
For us as well, it's connecting with you. It's difficult. You can't walk down every day and just find someone miserable downstairs.
It's the worst thing you can have in
your
house.
Of course, people have bad days. People have bad days.
We all do.
But they have to want to genuinely be in that situation. And that's something that you need to check out as well.
Yeah. I think that's it, I think we've covered the basis of nanny. So
covered the basis.
Helpful,
We're going to close this vlog off now because it was supposed to be short. And it's been longer. And I'm late for my appointment.
He's got a doctor's appointment,
But we appreciate you guys. Thank you for watching. We hope you found this helpful.
Yes.
If you're new to the channel, don't forget to subscribe. MF Squad and everybody watching, please give this vlog a big like, because you know the likes keep our channel alive. We appreciate you. Hit the notification bell so you know when we post. And as the kids say, share like you just don't care. Put your hands in the air and peace out.
Monago family, Monago family,